Thanks for joining us. I'm Beershel Edmay. In This Week for Dan Spieler, a historic day and a chaotic scene in Florida outside the federal courthouse where President Donald Trump pleaded not guilty to federal charges that he mishandled classified documents. Brittany Muller with our partner station in Florida shows us what happened.
America belongs to we the people.
Hundreds of demonstrators rallying outside the federal courthouse in downtown Miami ahead of Donald Trump's history-making court appearance.
Another witch hunt. Another witch hunt. That's all it is.
The motorcade entered the back of the courthouse. These sketches from inside where Trump was swiftly booked by U.S. Marshals and entered a not guilty plea. The former president has called the federal indictment political and election interference.
The world is watching us dress up like clowns because this is a circus.
Security is tight on the property.
Guys, keep moving back.
A suspicious item found, prompting Homeland Security agents and Miami officers to clear media and those rallying out of the area. Agents monitoring this TV that was strapped to a pole. Police dogs were seen searching the area for any possible threats. The situation was then cleared an hour later.
Trump needs to be held accountable. If it was any other person, they would be in jail for having hundreds of classified documents in their bathroom. Nobody's above the law.
Tensions growing between supporters and protesters.
Shouldn't President Trump still be running? He's the greatest. Look what our country was like under his leadership. Look where our country is today. It breaks my heart.
That was Brittany Muller reporting. In a statement Tuesday, Indiana Senator Todd Young said, quote, "The charges against President Trump are very serious and should not be minimized. The former president, like every other American, is deserving of due process and should be held to the same standard any other American would be held to." Meanwhile, the hearing happened. Lawmakers were watching and keeping updated from Washington, D.C. Our D.C. Bureau correspondent Raquel Martin shows us how those lawmakers are reacting now.
While there are a handful of Republicans criticizing the former president's actions, at this point, the vast majority are fiercely defending Trump, who remains the frontrunner for the Republican nomination.
While Donald Trump surrendered himself to face charges in federal court Tuesday, his allies on Capitol Hill are not surrendering their support.
I think this is ridiculous. I think it's stupid.
They're scared to death of him being president. That's it.
Before his court appearance, House Republicans rallied behind the former president, who is facing 37 federal criminal charges related to his alleged mishandling of classified documents.
The justice is not being carried out equally.
Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise says the Department of Justice is unfairly targeting Trump.
Did you see a raid on Joe Biden's garage? Did you see a raid on Hillary's servers?
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling to defund the special counsel overseeing Trump's case.
Join me in this effort.
It's deeply troubling.
Democrats say Republicans are intentionally ignoring key facts that show Trump took government secrets home and then lied to the FBI.
The allegations are incredibly troubling, and the fact that House Republicans continue to try to come to his rescue just blows our mind.
Tuesday, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who has been notably silent since the indictment, refused to weigh in.
I'm just simply not going to comment on the candidates.
For Now in Washington, Raquel Martin, back to you.
Raquel, thank you. Some more information and reaction now from Indiana lawmakers. Republican Congressman Rudy Yoakum said, quote, "The Biden Justice Department is indicting a current political opponent. Meanwhile, the same DOJ is protecting President Biden. This double standard and political weaponization is wrong and deeply troubling." While Congressman Larry Bucshon of Southern Indiana said, "These are very serious charges against former President Trump. Due process needs to play out in the courts and under the Constitution. There is a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Former President Trump and his legal team need to understand the gravity of these charges." He continued, quote, "That said, I do have substantial concerns that the Federal Department of Justice may not be implementing the law equally based on politics. I look forward to their decisions concerning the classified documents discovered at multiple locations connected to the former vice president and current President Joe Biden." And from Democrat Congressman Andre Carson, the theft and unauthorized disclosure of highly sensitive information can damage our national security and puts the brave men and women who serve in our armed forces at risk, threatening the very rights and freedoms we hold most dear. I believe in due process, and I believe that the law must be applied equally to all Americans. Now, in all, former President Trump faces 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information and 1 count each of conspiracy to obstruct justice, withholding a document or record, corruptly concealing a document or record, concealing a document in a federal investigation, scheme to conceal, and false statements and representation. Coming up in minutes, our In Focus panel weighs in on the former president's new and ongoing legal troubles.